Oh, we are back. We are back in the booth full time like Brady. I could come back once in a while. Boys, you know where the flag league is. Hit me up. What's up? Got a lot here. We're going ADP. Guys, we're a week away from our fantasy. A week away from our fantasy drafts. A week and a half. A lot going around the NFL. We're going long form because I want to go over all this shit. I want to go over the top 100 list. I want to talk about what's happening in the NFL because we got to get warmed up, all of us. And also, this show for my relatives in the family league and everybody that's maybe not paying attention. There's a lot of shit. There's all moving parts this year. There's receivers on different teams. There's the main thing I'm going to talk about tonight basically are the units. You guys got to realize that there's maybe a handful of teams with the same quarterback and receivers and backfield as last year. Three-quarters of the teams have different parts. So when I was growing up, most of it depended on chemistry. But now they throw everything together faster. It's like we get information faster. Guys are coming into the league ready. Like Peyton Manning sucked when he came into the NFL. CJ Stroud was like Peyton Manning in his 9th year last year. So Tom Brady said they're dumbing it down. I don't know, man. I think Tom Brady's hating a little bit. Tom Brady's a little bit of a jerk off. He had his white pants on with his little sweater with his bushy hair transplant. Like, Tom, they're dumbing it down. Have you seen Andy Reid's play calling? Shouldn't hit that vape right before I came on. Have you seen Andy Reid's play calling and things that are going on? It's just, I think the players are smarter because guys like us, young people, they're coaching at such high levels. These guys are going to camps. They're starting at 9, 10, 11. They're learning the route trees. When I was a kid, my receivers knew button hook, out, fly, post. Then we had a post corner. But now they got digs, they got double routes, comebacks. They got like the receiver god, like training the kids. Like they have funny names. I don't know if that's the exact name. It's like, you know how they have like dribbling coaches for basketball. It's like the receiver, whatever. And like they're learning moves off the line. Like the amount of time and hours people spend on the game now, it's just natural for them to be a little bit more ahead skill wise. Now, the part where they're suffering in the NFL is that the rhythm, the cohesive teams. That's why, if you guys if you look last year, like all right, like with the futures, they have Patrick Mahomes as the favorite to lead the league in passing. But like, do you guys have no fucking memory? Like Patrick Mahomes won about 6 ugly games last year. He had another few where they lost that he just made bonehead bad plays. Even the champs didn't have a cohesive passing game at all times. I think Pacheco was a silent MVP on that team. So I want to look at units. I want to look at what I have a feeling, first of all, whoever we catch that's coming into the league, whoever we catch coming on a new team, that's harder to call. So the first thing I want to do is look at who's back on certain teams from the ADP, like top 10, like receivers. Running back is a running back. Like Christian McCaffrey, he's the consensus number one overall. I get it. I got a question. They say the big three running backs are McCaffrey, Brees Hall, and B. John Robinson. I disagree. I like those three as the top three, sure, but I don't think Saquon Barkley should be in a different fucking category. I I think with the way the Eagles are loaded with Saquon's skill, I saw Saquon Barkley the other night in a game in the preseason game for the Eagles, juke a guy, leave him in his jock and go upfield. And Devontae Smith and somebody else were like, oh, like as far as Saquon Barkley, am I watching a different guy than the way they rank him and talk about him? I feel like I'm watching a different guy than everybody else sees. People shit on Saquon Barkley. Every time I look at him, he looks great to me. Like Saquon Barkley, I saw him once for the Eagles just now. He left the guy's jock 5 yards behind him, went upfield. Like, I have a feeling Saquon Barkley is going to have like 75 targets, 1,300 rushing yards or more. Now, what if Saquon Barkley has 70 catches and 1,400 rushing yards? And what if Nick Sirianni decides we got to keep Jalen Hurts healthy? Who gets all those touchdowns, those 4th-and-1s? Saquon Barkley could have a big year, guys. I'm always getting at something. I've been looking at odds, a couple season futures. We're looking at the ADP top 100. I believe Saquon Barkley should be mentioned with the other 3 top running backs. They should say the top 4, the big 4, but they didn't. So, but Saquon on the Eagles this year, he could have a huge year. He's got the skill. He can runs, he catches. Oh man! Now let's see. What did he have last year? They're talking about him like he was a scrub. All right. He played 14 games. He had 962 yards, 40 catches on the Giants. He's going to have a huge year. The Giants had a terrible team last year. Saquon's going to have a nice year. Now, here's a problem I have with the list, most of the lists. Today's the first day that it just switched. But for the last 2 weeks, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase have been ahead of Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think that's crazy. I think that's ridiculous. Think about that, guys. Amon-Ra St. Brown is on a unit with Goff and with Goff and St. Brown. They've been together 3 years. Goff's been in the Pro Bowl. They were in the NFC Championship. Amon-Ra St. Brown's a star, and he's got his quarterback for like the 3rd year. So I don't think you could possibly put Jefferson ahead of St. Brown this year. Because if you're going to put Jefferson, like, that's crazy. I don't care. It doesn't matter a guy's skill level. Like, when you got that, like, that's why CD Lamb is up there. Because him and Dak have been doing it for a couple of years. McCaffrey, I agree with. CD Lamb number 2. Now, if I was picking number 1, honestly, you can't go wrong with. Well, McCaffrey's going to be the number 1 pick. But receivers, CD Lamb. Now, we got holdout guys. There's a lot going on. Here's the guys holding out. CD Lamb is holding out. Chase is holding out. Those are 2 receivers in the top 3. Chase, I don't like Chase's. They keep putting Chase at like this top tier, like tippy top tier. Last year he had 100 catches for 1,200 yards. Like that's a very mediocre, like that's not a superstar season. Why is Chase regarded so high after seasons that aren't so good? Let's see, when was Chase's last good season? Like real good season? More seasons, motherfucker. Okay, last year, 2022, 87 catches, even less, 1,000 yards. Okay, he had a shit season last year for a star. Yet his ranking was still up. And the year before, so Chase's big year was in 2021. Yet he's like in the top 5 in fantasy. I don't know. I need my readers. Am I seeing that right? Yeah. Don't say nothing. Be like, look at NOOCH. Fuck you. Yeah, 2021, Jamar Chase. Okay, I'm going to read you his 2021. 128 targets. First of all, let me put that into perspective for you guys. I'm going to get hot now. It always takes me a few minutes. Fucking Evan Ingram last year had 143 targets. So the season we're hanging our hat on was 3 years ago, 2021. We're going to start the first stat. I'm not crazy about it. CD Lamb had like 170 fucking targets last year. Jamar Chase, 128 targets. All right, okay. 81 catches. All right, right there. You're not getting the high catch guy. You're not getting the kitten and the caboodle. You're not getting that. So you're getting 81 catches, 1455. Oh, there it is. So, okay, he had a lot of heavy yards, 18 yards a catch. Okay. You know who had 17.9 yards a catch last year? Nico Collins. Fucking Diggs is over there now. Tank Dell's running like the Road Runner. I don't see Nico Collins dropping off, but Chase is way over him. Not crazy about that. Not Jamar Chase's last big year, 2021. Last year, 100 catches for 1,200 yards, 12 yards a catch. Not knocking my pants off. 18 yards. Okay, so now let's see. I got another dilemma for us. You know who else had a big season the same year as Jamar Chase? The reason we're still blowing this guy. Excuse me. Oh man, I could have relatives watching this. I'm sorry. I'm cold. I'm rusty. You know whose last big season was 2021? Cooper Kupp. Why don't we have Cooper Kupp in the top 10? I want to talk about that. Units. That's the key word. We're going to keep going back to that. The Rams unit. Mama NOOCH. You'll be in the family league. You're watching? The Rams unit. Matthew Stafford. Big arm quarterback. They won the Super Bowl a couple years ago. He's back. So now you got Stafford, Puka, and Kupp. Now Puka is real high, 14. Right off the bat, Puka's got a fucking swollen knee right now. Bursitis on the side. He's icing. McVay's giving reports. Also, whenever Kupp and Stafford have ever played, ever, in their life together, ever, Kupp gets 30% of the target shares in the game. That ranks 1 in the whole NFL for the league in the same time. 1. So there's nothing that tells me Puka and Kupp can't switch reverse situations this year. Fucking, he had 1,947 yards receiving a couple years ago. That's more than Jefferson had 2 years ago. So we got like Cooper Kupp. We have to think about guys that got fucking dinged up and you didn't get to use them. Cooper Kupp tweaked his hamstring last year. He came back in like 3 weeks, tweaked it again. Now you're fucking out 7 weeks. That's why he's down at, let's see, where's Cooper Kupp this year? Cooper Kupp's fucking better than all these guys. Cooper Kupp, 38. Whoever gets Cooper Kupp's getting the best fucking receiver in the NFL. Be honest with you, way better than Jamar Chase. He'll get more balls. Jamar Chase. Let's see Jamar Chase's targets. Watch this. I'm going to expose this stat. Jamar Chase. Somebody's going to fucking take him like 6. Jamar Chase targets 128, 134, 145. Oh, that okay. He got 145 targets last year. Let's see Cooper Kupp in that year that I'm thinking about. 38 Kupp. Here we go. Kupp. I'll show you targets. Oh wait. Oh, there we go. 191. Oh my God. Cooper Kupp, they threw the ball to him 191 times in 21. And then I'm wondering 22, 98 times, but he only played 9 games. That he was on pace for, like, when Cooper Kupp is on the field, 30% of the target shares is insane. So unless you're planning on a guy to get hurt, which you never do, Cooper Kupp is going to be value for that reason. Same reason I'm not crazy about Chase. There's a lot of Pittsburgh. What about Pittsburgh? The quarterback situation in real football right now, Russ is not cooking. That poor bastard is not cooking. I think they're going to start Fields. Pittsburgh, no line. There's a lot of unsure situations. Pittsburgh is trying to trade for Brandon Ayuk right now from the Niners. But if you're the Niners in the Super Bowl window, I don't know why you're trying to trade Ayuk. I would be afraid to take these guys that are holding out for contracts. It sucks that we got to pay attention to this next week when we're drafting, but we have to be on all this shit. We have to know what's going on with Ayuk, with his contract, where he's going. We got to know what's going on with Chase. Chase's situation is the most peculiar out of all of them. They should have had that deal done. I think the fucking GM is looking at the same thing that I'm looking at. Not really a lot of catches. One good year. It was 3 years ago. I don't know. If you give Chase a shitload of money, I don't know if that's a great contract. There's a every year in the NFL, a couple stallions come on to a team. Like there's another one in LSU right now, another one in Georgia. Like Chase, you got to show me a little more, bud. Get on the field. T. Higgins holding out. Fuck out of here. Joe Burrow, like they're giving everybody respect on Cincinnati. They got to the Super Bowl one year and lost. That shit don't impress everybody. Maybe that's good in Cincinnati. I don't know, man. Yeah, Cooper Cup and Puka, guys, they could be role reversals again. But they're both good. But Puka's banged up right now, and I haven't heard anything about Cup. We got to look at guys' health. Guys, I've been saying this for a couple days now. You could literally take 50 from the ADP, 1 down to 50. You can hang it upside down, start that way, and probably draft a better team. There's guys deep this year. These fucking geeks don't know shit. This list, stick it in the shit house. Like there's no experts in this stuff. You don't see anybody anymore online, public people like claiming to be an expert. There's no experts. You got to know who's who you have a chance to get. You might be able. The people who hit on guys later are the ones that win their league. Watch, I'm gonna start down at 100. No. I'll start at 50. I won't get ridiculous. 50. Mark Andrews. See, that's a good point for me right now because I'll tell you guys because you guys should be independent thinkers. I'll tell you my strategy. Nobody ever said Nooch. I think you're a genius, so I don't think you're gonna copy me. So I had a bad year last year in one of my leagues, and I went away from my receivers and backs heavy early. I got Lamar Jackson early, 4th round. I made good picks on the ones I strayed, and I was terrible. Didn't even make the playoffs. I'm not taking a damn tight end. You can keep your tight end. It's all bullshit anyway. There's a couple guys. If you guys should want to take any tight end, you should take Evan Ingram. Why is Evan Ingram down at 7 or like on some list? That's ridiculous. Evan Ingram got 143 targets last year. That's ridiculous. Evan Ingram is the #1 receiver in Jacksonville. Calvin Ridley's gone. Calvin Ridley gone. He's on Tennessee. Keenan Allen, big-time receiver from the Chargers. He's on the Bears. I don't think he's going to do shit. He's on the wrong side of 30 by a couple years now. And they got 2 other good receivers, DJ Moore and the rookie from Washington, Ozuma. I forgot. I don't know how to say his name. I got to learn that one soon. I don't know about that. I like Mike Evans, though. He's got to be in his early 30s now. Mike Evans had a big year last year. And remember when I was talking about yards per catch? Look, watch this, guys. Watch this. Yards per catch. Let me go on to my ESPN. I love yards per catch because when you get a guy that has a lot of yards per catch, that's like getting a half a point more for every time he catches one than somebody else's guy. Like, okay, watch this. Nico Collins and Mike Evans come to mind. I didn't look yet, but and Amari Cooper. All I remember is Cooper, Collins, and fucking Evans going deep last year. Where's these stats? I want to see yards per catch leaders from last year. Here we go. Here we go. Receiving. Yards per catch. Where is it? There we go. George Pickens, #1. George Pickens, #1, 18 yards. But George Pickens only had 63 catches. That is shit. But this year they got Fields and Wilson. But I saw George Pickens dog it. Dog it. And I don't mean the good dog. I don't know. I don't trust George Pickens. That's not an all Nooch team guy. Ayuk, #2. Damn. Well, we don't know where he's going to be. He'll be next to Pickens. 2 fucking knuckleheads. Pickens and Ayuk. Oh, wow. So look, the 2 guys with the highest yards per catch. No, Ayuk's not really a knucklehead. He's just holding out. Now, Amari Cooper. Why is Amari Cooper so low on the fantasy list? Amari Cooper, 58 on the ADP. Amari Cooper last year, 72 catches, 1,250 yards. Wait, Jamar Chase had 100 catches for 1,200 yards. This got Amari Cooper, 72 catches, 1,250, 17.4. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. but he's down below and Chase is up high. Amari Cooper, he's just like the poor man's 1A receiver. Like if I think Amari Cooper is just I hated on him in Dallas. He kept having good years. Now he's on Cleveland. I was like, oh, he's on Cleveland. Well, you can't be that stupid to draft him now. Big year. Yards per catch. But Nico Collins, 16.2. Nico Collins, 80 catches, 1,300 yards. That's 16 yards per catch. When you if you have a good receiver on your fantasy team, look at yards per catch. It should be about 12. That's the barometer. About 12 is good. If you got a guy 16, 17, that's a home run. Here's the guys worth drafting that are higher than that. Let's look. Amari Cooper last year, 17.4. DK Metcalf, he only had 66 catches, 119 targets. A lot of misses. So hopefully, if they hit more, DK will be way higher. Gabe Davis on Buffalo, he's gone. Nico Collins, 80 catches, 1,300. That's the guy we got to look at. Odell's on Miami now. He had good yards, but not a lot of catches. Mike Evans, monster year last year, 79 catches, 1,255, 15.9. Big year. Baker's back. Units. Baker Mayfield is back on the Bucks quarterback. Mama NOOCH, Ma, you watching? Bucks. Mike Evans and Godwin. Mike Evans had a monster year last year. Monster. T. Rich always has him. Monster year. Justin Jefferson, 15.8. But Justin Jefferson last year, 10 games played, 68 catches, 1,000 yards. Okay, 15.8. So why the fuck do we give Jefferson respect on the draft board this year, but not Cooper Kupp? Oh, Justin Jefferson got dinged up last year. What's the difference? So don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, guys. A lot of shit going on. Here's what we got to look at. The AD. Let me get back to the ADP. Also, George Kittle. The difference between, first of all, for Travis, I don't know, man. You know what? If Travis Kelce could stay healthy all year, or if they use him a lot all year, I'd be shocked. They're such a veteran team. I'd be shocked if they use them that much again, like that. You can't. You have to develop the team. I don't know, man. Teams are gonna find ways to get him too. Just like offenses draw new plays, defenses are gonna draw up new schemes to fucking chip him. Kelsey's not gonna. He ain't sneaking up on nobody, and he's getting older. That's negative and a negative. I don't know, man. And I don't know about Xavier Worthy either. He's a little fucking twerp. You know I don't like those little guys. But look at Tyreek Hill. I love Tyreek Hill. Ball skills, everything. But here's what I want to say about the tight ends. Travis Kelce had like 10 yards a catch last year. He had a lot of catches and got 930 yards. George Kittle, 65 catches, over 1,000 yards. George Kittle had 30 catches less than Kelce and more yards. George Kittle had 15.7 yards per catch last year. That's a tight end I want. You know, because those touchdown-dependent guys, good luck. Touchdown is like a chance. Tank Dell looks good. I'm looking at Tank Dell on the list. He looks good. Tank Dell, Houston. But here's the thing. Houston Texans unit, they're back. But Tank Dell, with Nico Collins, great unit. Now Diggs is on the team. So is Stephon Diggs going to ruin? Is anybody going to get fucked up? We're speaking English straight. Is somebody going to get fucked up? Here's the problem. I love Nico Collins and Tank Dell. I saw Tank Dell on like Instagram reel fucking flying. Not worried about his late season injury last year. Flying. So now Stephon Diggs, disgruntled fucking Stephon Diggs, is on that team, Houston. So now he's a number one, right? So now Stephon Diggs on 160, 140 targets, something like that. Let me look. I'm talking targets. Let's see, last year. Stephon Diggs, 160 targets. That shit ain't happening. So Diggs in the ADP, Fuck him. I'm not touching Stephon Diggs. Because here's what's going to happen if you own Stephon Diggs. You got a fucking bad attitude kid, right? Bad attitude kid. Going to get a lot less targets. I don't need that shit. My fantasy team losing, him crying. I don't want that. No part of that shit. So I'm not taking Diggs. But we really got to hope. You know what? Let the other guys take the Texans. 3 Texans. Dell, Collins, Diggs, Chase. I need to make I'm not going to touch them. Like guys that are they're plenty good. Guys that are stars, but I'm not touching them. Spare me. The Texans receivers, Chase, Jefferson. We got Scott Olin Beans throwing a Jefferson. Hey, Mel. We got you throwing a Justin Jefferson, but he didn't slide on the list at all. Didn't slide. Fucking Jordan Addison out. Jordan Addison, guys, out. Ankle injury. There's going to be a quadruple team on Jefferson the first 3 weeks of the season, but he didn't slide. He's number 3 on the list. You guys can keep Justin Jefferson. I'll take Amon-Ra St. Brown. Give me that unit that's been together. Goff, St. Brown. That's a nice fucking unit. Speaking of units, why can't they? Okay, they always run. If a good running back does the best in the league by far, the last one to win the MVP, I looked it up. It was Adrian Peterson. The year he rushed for 2,000 yards. So here's what I'm getting at. If Saquon Barkley has like 1,400 rushing yards, 700 receiving yards, like 70 catches, and should be the MVP, that's plus 20,000. You heard it here first. $100 pays $20,000. But if they rob him and he gets Offensive Player of the Year, $100 pays $2,400. Not bad. $10 pays $240. $10. You know what? If Barkley gets all those Jalen Hurts 1-yarders, goes into that end zone like 20-something times this year, he gets all the sneaks that used to be Jalen Hurts' because we don't want to fuck up the quarterback. Dummy. Coach, you want to get fired? Keep running. Keep making the quarterback shove his head up the center's ass. Yeah, that's a great way to skip town, buddy. Give the ball to Saquon. That's what I would tell him if I was a general manager. You have to think like a psychologist. So Saquon's going to have a fucking tremendous year. So, you know, NOOCH already. I threw my fucking $10 away already. $10 I got. Saquon Barkley. Say $10. Yeah. $10 to win 240 for Saquon Barkley to win Offensive Player of the Year. Because I'll tell you what, he might lead the league in touchdowns. I got one for you, Mel, you shitty Jets fan. Aaron Rodgers. Here's another one. The Jets, there's 8 to 10 teams that have a chance to win the Super Bowl every year. The Jets are one of those teams. I'm a Giants fan, but I'm not a hater. Like I'm the kind of guy, like if you whoop my ass, I'll shake your hand afterward. Like I don't hate, you know what I'm saying? Like the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, here's what I'm getting at. Breece Hall is fucking tremendous. Garrett Wilson is like 3rd in the whole NFL in total targets since he came in last year. Garrett Wilson had a lot of usage. Nobody is going to get the ball to him better than Rodgers. So, also, Aaron Rodgers, like, literally made Devontae Adams, like, those two had fucking chemistry. It was like fucking Broadway. It was beautiful. So, if Devontae Adams gets to the Jets by Halloween and Adams is there and Garrett Wilson, I could see Rodgers leading the league in passing, touchdown passes or yards. So I looked it up. $10 pays $290. $100 pays $2,900 plus $2,900 for Aaron Rodgers to lead the league in passing. I think that's a live one if that motherfucker's legs hold up. But that's the thing. You know, I'm seeing compensation that shit with Rodgers. Like I was limping too at 40. Guess what? Still limping. It don't get better. When I saw Rodgers like limping on a rollout, like if Rodgers plays here's the thing. There's a couple guys you just got to look at and go, oh man, here's some guys that are fucking superstars that unless you're planning on them to get hurt, it's a great pick. Cooper Kupp, receiver, Aaron Rodgers, quarterback. If Rodgers is there way late, if that motherfucker don't go down again, home run. Jets got a defense, they got a runner, they got a line now. They even drafted a lineman. My cousins were in the Meadowlands, MetLife, excuse me, and they're like, hey, cuz, we're going to go on FanDuel. I was right here. They were like, hey, we're going to go on FanDuel. Who do you think the Jets are going to pick? My one cousin's like, oh, I think it's going to be Cody, fucking whatever, tight ender. I'm like, listen, man, Aaron Rodgers lost a fucking leg last year on the 4th play of the season. I've been around, boys. They're going to draft a big fat ass tackle, about 6'7", 360. Whatever his name is, bet him. Bingo. They drafted one. They're not fucking around. The Jets got linemen. They got receivers. I wouldn't be surprised if they get Devontae Adams. And look, Devontae Adams, he's got a little LeBron in him. He's like 31. There's no signs of tread on those tires. Wake up. There's nothing fucking wrong with Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams was the best receiver in football. Hey, what's up, Oscar? Yo, Devontae Adams, best receiver in football a couple years ago. 31, looks like a fucking stallion. So anyway, why wouldn't he be productive this year? Or the better question, why is Jefferson in fucking heaven in the rankings and Adams is here if Jefferson's got Scott Beans playing with him? I just told you the quarterback is gone. The quarterback blew his meniscus. We got Sam Fishface Darnold at quarterback. Addison's hurt. New running back, Aaron Jones. The whole thing is fucking mixed and matched. Musical chairs. We got to look at units, guys. Are we just going to say, oh, yeah, Caleb Williams, the Bears? You know what? We might have to get negative. And I'm a positive guy. We might have to get negative this year and make a fucking hit list. Guys from teams we don't fucking touch. Houston, watch this, boys. Watch this. This is all NOOCH. I'm the king of jinx. You know how many fucking times I've been jinxed in my fantasy life? Almost every year. I know what's coming. I'm the king of jumping on the young quarterback that just did it, and I always get him that next year, and then he fucking has he really has a dipper. I know this. It happened to me with Rivers years ago. Happened to me with Herbert. Happened to me with Lawrence. Stroud, that's him. I'm not touching Stroud because he ain't going to top last year. If he tops last year, he's the best fucking quarterback ever. Mahomes doesn't even top his own last year. It doesn't work like that. Law of averages. So I feel like we got to be careful with Texans. We got the quarterback that just had the great year, and we got a disgruntled jerk-off joining the unit. Bad fucking stew. Bad stew. Not going to cook like Russ last year. Who told you? Who told you Russ wasn't going to cook? Me. Now, this year, watch out, Houston. Sometimes when you change the sauce, you can make it more fancy, but it doesn't come out as good. Look at the Chiefs. Let's go to the top of the league. Here's a fact. The Kansas City Chiefs have never not won the Super Bowl since they got rid of Tyreek Hill. That doesn't make any sense. The Kansas City Chiefs got rid of Tyreek Hill 3 years ago. They've won the Super Bowl every year since. They're going for a three-peat. Sports doesn't make sense all the time. Doesn't make sense. And Tyreek Hill is the best receiver. Tyreek Hill went on to be the best receiver in the NFL. If you want to draft a receiver first, you draft him. So I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. That's why I love this shit, because it provides its own material, and we got to know all this. We got units. We got guys I'm scared of, Houston Texans players. So if you're a relative or like a casual, write down the Houston Texans roster players. Be careful with those guys. But I love Nico Collins. Who I could see myself drafting Nico Collins if he's in front of me. So it's tough. But Bengals receivers, Joe Burrow lost a leg and a fucking arm last year, and nobody said a word. Lamar Jackson sprained his knee 2 years ago, missed like a couple games. They made it like he was injury prone. Joe Burrow is injury prone, and nobody says a word. Oh, he's been to the AFC Championship. So is Mark Sanchez, jerk off. Don't give me that shit. I've been around. Tell the kids that one. Mark Sanchez, his first 2 years in the NFL, went to the AFC Championship. So, like cheese. Clip this one and send it to Cheese. Cheese. That AFC Championship line, that it doesn't hold weight anymore because Mark Sanchez went to the fucking AFC Championship the first 2 years, and that motherfucker was doing chuck and ducks by year 5. Now Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl and he blew his calf out last year. Okay, not his fault. But when he was thrown on the sideline last year, his fucking wrist flew off. And I don't know. We got to see. You got to show me. I'm from Missouri. You got to show me. Like, but on this, in the same regard, I don't plan on guys getting hurt. That's why I said, like, Cooper Kupp keeps coming to mind, man. What Dak and CD. Now, CD is a holdout. Season futures. Jerry Jones doesn't give a shit about anyone. Dallas needs help running the ball. Ezekiel Elliott's season over-under for the season is 550 yards. I might go to Monmouth with a fucking briefcase and bet the over. You don't think Zeke is going to get 550 yards? I've seen Zeke get 350 yards in one game at Ohio State. He's not even 30 yet, is he? Damn. Shit. But we're going to keep going around the league. I'm going to do my list now because we're 1 week away. But we're going to go around the league. Is Daniel Jones really that bad? What about Malik Neighbors? Malik Neighbors is supposed to be the next Tyreek Hill. But Daniel Jones is throwing pick sixes in the preseason. He looks like shit. Oh, goodness, guys. Oh, man. I don't know. I'm nervous. Malik Neighbors blew his ACL. And then he was like 15. He tore his ACL. And then he got into college and he tore his ACL. So I know he's Malik Neighbors, but the next one's number 3. He's a rookie right now. He hasn't even played a game yet. I'm nervous, but I'm hopeful also. Puka's got a knee injury. St. Brown, the other Brown, A.J. Brown. How about that for a unit? Philadelphia, Jalen Hurts, and then you got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. They're back. They're together. You don't think they're working? A.J. Brown is going to be a safe pick this year, and Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith disappeared last year. I wouldn't be surprised if they threw his skinny ass on some PEDs because he's a great player, but I don't know what the fuck happened to him. He had some like trip ups, but nobody knew what the fuck was wrong. So come on, Devontae. Come on, you 154-pound motherfucker. Like I just you know what? He's a great player. He plays in the NFL at $160, and they can't fuck with him. So Philadelphia receivers: A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Oh, we got wide receivers, high yards per catch. That's a big difference. We got to look at the guys that get yards over years, the course of years. If they're not high volume catch guys like Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill gets yards because he's so damn fast. That's a no brainer. Tyreek Hill's a no brainer. Oh man, what else we got? The best wide receiver duos, or the best running back duos. That's another thing. Jalen Warren for Pittsburgh, he's going to be out week 1. Najee Harris, they have to run the ball for Najee Harris, but I hear they have no offensive line. You know what, guys? I'm going to put my top 10 list out tomorrow. Quarterbacks, receivers, running backs. We have to dive into these numbers, man. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. There's a lot of projections that are off. Garrett Wilson's got the highest projections ever. He didn't really have a huge season last year. Chris Olave had a huge season last year. Same thing, kind of. I think Chris Olave will be a good player. We'll see. I can't wait. I can't wait for these drafts. Devon A. Chain is in 7th rounds. Kamara is in 7th, 8th rounds. Devon A. Chain and Kamara could be better than Derrick Henry, who's in the top 20 picks. Like, who knows? Baltimore's got Henry. Who else do they have? Are they going to give all the fucking carries to Henry? Their whole backfield got traded to the Chargers. Gus Edwards and the other guy, I forgot who it is, it's escaping me. Both running backs are on the Chargers. Henry's there. Austin Eckler is on the Redskins with Daniels. You don't think Daniels is going to be dumping off? Do you know what a quarterback's best friend is when there's a lot of heat or they're not sure what's going on? Austin Eckler. I think Austin Eckler could be back this year in fantasy just for being on Washington. A good scatty running back is a quarterback's best friend. When shit is breaking down and you're extending the play, every time I ever left the huddle, my running back would be like, "Yeah, I'll be on the left, or flare right, flare left." I always knew where my back was in case like safety valve. And Jaden Daniels extends plays, and Austin Eckler is built for that. So I think Austin Eckler could have a pretty good fantasy season, and nobody's touching him. Nobody's got Eckler in the ADPs. Barkley's going to be the offensive player of the year this year, Big O. Barkley's going to be the offensive player of the year. I'm telling you, I can't. Saquon Barkley, I don't see. I was just saying to somebody the other day, I was like, how come when I see Barkley, I see like the best running back in the league? Nobody else sees it. He got the ball for Philly. That's why I'm wearing his jersey for the last time ever because it's Giants. He got the ball for Philly, juked the guy, put his jock 10 yards behind, and went upfield. Like, God damn. Barkley might be ridiculous this year. I wouldn't be surprised if he ever got to 2,000 yards and Philly was like 16-1 or something. He could be the fucking MVP. It's plus 20,000. $100 pays 20,000. $10 pays 2,000. $10 pays 2,000. $1 pays $200. $1 on Barkley MVP pays $200. Put your fucking dollar on that. Huh? We got to get in here, all of us together. Sunday mornings. Sunday mornings are it's like a staple. Sunday mornings from 10:15 to 12:15, I'll be doing my thing. We'll be going over everything. I'll have everything set up. But I think tomorrow I'm going to start with my wide receiver lists. Yeah. We're going to do our top 30 wide receivers tomorrow. Top 30 wide receivers. Then we'll go running backs, quarterbacks, tight ends. And then next week we'll go into the drafts. Oh, I'm making the playoffs. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm making the playoffs. I'm pumped. Whenever I have a bad year, I come back strong. I'm making the playoffs. I'm gonna try to stay away from these fucking surprisers, these new teams. Everything's like fantasy, like real life sports is like fantasy. NBA guys switch teams all the time. Now it's getting crazy. I don't know what to do. Shit. I'm going over my list now. I got to do a few things though, but I'm gonna be coming out all the time at night, like and shit. So stay in touch with me. All right, brother.